Hello, everybody. You know when you go to buy a car and the salesman asks, what's the magic number to get you to buy this car? Or how about when you're being recruited for a job and they want to know, what's the magic number that'll get you to accept the position? So riddle me this. When I think of this major healthcare crisis related to fluoroquinolone toxicity, I want to know, what's the magic number that's going to get this to stop? What's the magic number that's going to get someone to pay attention? What's the magic number that's going to get people to take responsibility? What's the magic number for someone to give a shit and do something? I don't want to hear that you can have any kind of reaction to any medication. We all know that. And I don't want to hear that it's rare. This is why those two statements are irrelevant. First of all, fluoroquinolone antibiotics have the strictest warning possible that the FDA gives to a medication, which is a black box warning, and has many of them for permanent and disabling side effects, for aortic aneurysms, psychiatric effects, blood glucose disturbances, etc., etc. What other medications out there have that many warnings? Fluoroquinolone antibiotics have the most adverse reactions of any drug on the market. I've said this like 1,000 times. That in and of itself puts fluoroquinolone antibiotics in a completely different class. And that is why the FDA has stated that in many cases, the risks do not outweigh the benefits, and fluoroquinolone should be used as last resort only. The problem here is that the whole system is broken. First of all, the medication continues to be produced like candy. The FDA puts out these warnings that nobody has to listen to. Prescribers still dispense this medication as first line, regardless of what the FDA says, and there's no repercussions for it. Then you go to the pharmacy to pick up your prescription. Maybe the pharmacist will say something, maybe the pharmacist won't. Who knows? But the point is, there's so many failure points in the process of prescribing fluoroquinolones, and there are so many of us that have our lives flipped upside down and are disabled, or even worse, lose their lives. Now, the other thing about being rare is this. The FDA acknowledges that their metrics are not good. In their FAIR system, they have records that aren't even reviewed. And to get included in these rare numbers, you have to self-report to MedWatch. Tell me how many people that are floxed and sick self-report to MedWatch. Therefore, they're not included in the numbers. Everybody will see when the new ICD-10 codes are used, that number is definitely higher than 1%. But regardless, even at 1%, the volume which fluoroquinolone prescriptions are dispensed is significant. In 2019, the medical director of Bayer stated that 800 million prescriptions of fluoroquinolones had been dispensed as of 2019. So let's just use that 1% of 800 million. That's a really high number. Look on my post and see thousands of comments. That's not an exaggeration. Thousands of comments of other people being harmed by fluoroquinolone antibiotics. I think this is the loudest that we've ever been, and that's because people want change. People are tired of being disabled and having their lives ruined and nothing being done about it. In essence, all these organizations like the CDC, FDA, doctors, whoever, are basically saying that our lives don't matter. Because if they did, somebody would be putting a stop to this. If anybody even cared in the least, we would have things like informed consent. There would be repercussions for doctors not following FDA guidelines. And before I close, I'll say this. I truly believe that nothing lasts forever, good or bad. And so one day, someone or some organization or something is going to expose this scandal and have everything crashing down. Someday. I don't know when, but it will happen someday, and I pray to God it'll be in my lifetime. So as I end this video, let me ask you one more time and ponder this question. What's the magic number? What are our lives worth? As of now, apparently not that much. Thanks, everybody.